to be LA's next mayor is officially set. CBS News has projected City Council member Nithya Raman to advance to the November runoff.
That's right. She will face off against incumbent mayor and former ally Karen Bass. Joining us now is Republican political strategist Matt Klink, who's been talking about this with us before Election Day, through Election Day, and you kind of called that this is what would happen, that those later votes that came in would be Democrats.
You know, it's one of those things where I don't like to be right this because I think that the Bass-Pratt race would have been so much more interesting.
You did say that.
For voters. But this fits the political milieu of Los Angeles. Yeah. It's Democrat and really, really liberal.
Yeah.
Right. So that's when you look at these two candidates now that are going to be facing each other. They were once allies. They are not now, clearly.
Right.
But will Pratt's voters move one direction or another, or will they just sit at home?
Jamie, that's the proverbial $64,000 question is, you know, do Spencer Pratt voters say, Karen Bass caused the fires, there's no way I'm voting for her, and vote for Raman? Or do they say, I don't like Karen Bass, but Nithya Raman's a Democratic socialist, so I'm gonna vote my pocketbook? Or do they say, we're out, we're just gonna sit it out on the sidelines? That's what the campaign in November is gonna be all about. Where do they go? I said, you know, the Pratt voters, ultimately, he won't be in the race, but they will determine who wins.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I think it was interesting, Nithya Raman she's now starting to come out with some language of, if you want change, I'm the change, right?
Positioning herself as a change agent. We also talked so much about Pratt being on social media, having these really successful social media campaigns. Nithya Raman was kind of the opposite, doing this field operation where she was directly connecting with people in person. That seemed to work. Do you think she'll continue that leading into November?
I think she has to. I mean, there's the Democratic Socialists, they bring workers in or staffers in and they walk precincts. I mean, let's not forget, it's not only the mayor's race where you have a Democratic Socialist running against a Democrat, and Mayor Bass she's progressive Democrat. She described herself that way. But the city attorney's race also has a Democratic Socialist versus a more mainstream candidate. So it's a big issue for Los Angeles for the future.
Okay, well, let's turn our attention to the race for governor, because there's still not, the second spot still has not been determined. It looks like it's going to be Steve Hilton at this point, the Republican. I think what's interesting is last night he came out in a CNN interview saying that this is how voting works. We've heard nationally from other Republicans saying, you know, that we've got some rigged election happening here. Do you think that that type of tone is going to continue from him, of kind of trying to distance himself from some of the national Republicans?
Well, he kind of has to. I mean, look, California's system was designed by Democrats in Sacramento. They don't need to cheat because they have all of the advantages inherent here. So, I mean, there are some fundamental changes that do need to occur. I mean, we have prioritized ballot access, which is a good thing, but I think the voters should also expect that we can be timely as well. And right now, the time is the killer, because in that vacuum of votes cast but no result, anybody who has an opinion is now voicing it that, oh, their votes aren't in, it must be corrupt. Well, no, the votes just aren't in.
Well, so I think we have some sound that we want to go ahead and take a listen to.
There's so many things wrong with the system. I've been saying all along that we take it very seriously because we don't want to let people down, and we've been very vigilant on it. We're keeping an eye on it. We've got teams standing by, lawyers standing by, and actually it's the same answer that actually I've been giving for a few days now. We've seen nothing that would give us cause to intervene in that way. But more importantly than that, Bill Asaley, the U.S. attorney, who's actually got the full weight, we're just a campaign, he's got the full weight of the Justice Department, and he's there and he's taking a look at it. And I trust that if there is anything that needs to be investigated, that he will make sure it happens.
Yeah, so that's Steve Hilton responding, of course, to President Trump, saying that there is election fraud happening here in California. What do you think about himself seemingly kind of distancing himself from that message?
I think he has to, because nobody has been able to say that widespread fraud exists. I mean, look, there's fraud in every election, and they're usually found out and they're prosecuted. But widespread fraud, Trump just throws out that claim, and it tarnishes everything that goes on in voting in California. Steve Hilton reads the tea leaves, and he knows that Donald Trump is at 26% in California. And if he wants, he can't win without independents and some Democrats. He's not going to get it by saying the system is corrupt.
Right.
Okay, well, I want the Matt tea leaves, because you predict almost everything else. If it's a Hilton-Becerra runoff, who is going to be our governor?
Oh, it's not even close. Javier Becerra will win 60-40.
And probably along the lines of what we saw with the mayor's race of the Democratic voters in the state.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
We'll save that clip.
Thank you
Good to
so
see you.
much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.